Now let's dive into today's topic. There's been a lot of talk recently about a major move in Iraq's financial landscape, removing zeros from the currency. It's been stirring up a lot of curiosity, confusion, and even hope. But what does this really mean? And why are so many people paying attention? The phrase removing zeros might sound technical, but the idea behind it is pretty straightforward. It refers to a process known as currency revaluation or redenomination. In basic terms, this means adjusting the currency by eliminating extra zeros. For example, if you have a 1,000 dinar note, it could be replaced with a new 1 dinar note. You're still holding the same value in theory, just in a simpler form. This move is typically done in countries where inflation has caused the currency to lose significant value, resulting in people dealing with large, cumbersome numbers in daily transactions. The real challenge, though, is deeper than just printing new bills. Iraq's currency today isn't worth what it once was. So when people ask how zeros can be removed when the currency doesn't hold much value to begin with, it's a fair question. This conversation often brings up nostalgia for a time when the Iraqi dinar was actually quite strong. In the 1970s and 1980s, the dinar was one of the most valuable currencies in the Middle East. But decades of war, sanctions, and economic instability have taken a heavy toll. The current state of the currency reflects years of hardship, and many Iraqis look back longingly to those earlier days when their money carried real weight on the international stage. There's a hope that by redenominating the currency and stabilizing the economy, Iraq can start to reclaim some of that lost ground. Leaders like Prime Minister al-Sudani have expressed ambitious goals for the dinar's value, mentioning the possibility of reaching a point where $1 equals about 1.32 Iraqi dinars. That would be a huge leap and a strong symbol of economic recovery. But achieving that goal isn't just about changing numbers on banknotes. It requires a broad set of changes across the entire economy. For this kind of transformation to work, Iraq must achieve long-term economic stability. That means developing industries beyond oil, diversifying income sources, and reducing dependency on a single sector. A more stable, balanced economy would build resilience and offer more opportunities to its people. International trade is another crucial piece of the puzzle. Iraq's ability to do business with other countries, attract foreign investors, and compete globally will directly impact how much faith others have in its currency. Equally important is public trust. If the people don't believe in the value of the dinar, or they fear instability, then even the most well-planned reforms won't succeed. It's not just about numbers, it's about confidence. When people feel uncertain or fearful, they may start hoarding foreign currency or turning to the black market. That kind of behavior can seriously disrupt any attempt at economic reform. To understand how this would work in everyday life, think about someone like a shopkeeper in Baghdad. We'll call her Alice. For years, Alice has been pricing her goods in tens or hundreds of thousands of dinars. If the government suddenly introduces new notes that remove 3 zeros, she'll have to adjust her prices. That might sound easy, but it can be confusing. She'll still be selling the same goods for the same real value, but the numbers will look different. Will she trust that the new notes are actually worth the same? That uncertainty is why a gradual rollout and public education campaign would be essential. The transition needs to be smooth, and people need to be clearly informed. They should understand what to expect, how to convert their savings, and how to navigate the change. If done correctly, this could be a real turning point. The economy could see a renewed sense of energy. People might start saving again, businesses might grow, and with more local and international investment, the dinar could slowly regain strength. All of this would help build a more resilient and prosperous Iraq. Of course, people have different reactions to this idea. Some are cautiously optimistic. They want to believe in the possibility of change. They want to see the country thrive again. Others are more skeptical, fearing that this is just another political promise that won't amount to much. That's why it's so important for Iraq's leaders to not only speak about these goals, but to back them up with action and consistency. Let's also talk about how this affects the average person's daily life. If the plan is carried out well, prices could remain stable or even become more manageable, giving families some much-needed relief. But if it's not handled properly, prices could spiral, causing confusion and frustration. That's a risk the government must take seriously and manage with care. Now let's consider the impact on Iraqis living abroad. Imagine someone has been saving 100,000 dinars while living in the United States. After redenomination, that amount might be converted to 100 new dinars. At first glance, that seems like a loss, but not necessarily. If the value of the dinar improves as a result of the revaluation, that person could end up exchanging those 100 new dinars at a much better rate, gaining more value in return. This kind of reform could actually benefit those who've held on to their savings. The way this process typically unfolds is that banks introduce the new exchange rates and begin distributing new notes. There's usually a grace period during which people can swap out their old currency for the new version. During this time, financial institutions and government agencies provide guidance on how to navigate the change. Education is key. People need to understand that the change is in form, not necessarily in function, at least initially. Another big benefit is convenience. Removing zeros can make everyday transactions simpler. Instead of carrying around stacks of high-denomination bills, people could pay for things with fewer notes. It also encourages a shift toward digital payments, which can be safer and more efficient in the long run. Of course, there are risks. Sudden changes in how money is valued can cause confusion. People might panic, thinking they've lost money when they haven't. In the early stages, some prices may be inconsistent, especially in informal markets. It's critical for everyone to stay informed, to talk with family and friends about what's happening, and to keep an eye on official updates. And we can't overlook the emotional side of this. Families with loved ones overseas may feel anxious about how the changes will affect them, whether they'll be able to send money home, whether their savings will still be secure. But if this is done right, those transfers could become more efficient, with better rates and easier processes. That could make a real difference in how families manage their budgets and support each other. So as we close out this discussion, I want to say thank you for tuning in. This is a big topic with a lot of layers, and your opinion matters. Do you think removing zeros from the Iraqi dinar could lead to real lasting change? Or is it too ambitious without the right support systems in place? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. If you found this video helpful or insightful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss future updates. Your support means a lot. Until next time, take care and stay informed.